What is the book about?
I should be asking you that.
Please, you're not gonna do that.
Well, it's about three friends. Three friends who they've been friends for a long time, but they've actually had individual challenges, and it's about how they weathered the storm, how they overcame those challenges, or how they will overcome those challenges. So it's just dealing with the issues, getting past that, and I think that and how friendship works in the process.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. At the center of Orchids and Roses is friendship, pure and simple. And it's each person, each of the three. We've got Elizabeth, Susan, Matthew. Each has their own dilemmas that they're dealing with, but how they bond together, they come together, through respect, through loyalty, and just support one another. You think all three are blood relatives, and so the support was so strong that it got Elizabeth through some very, very, very dark times. It got Matthew through some very dark times as well, and Susan herself. Yeah, so I'd say it's got some secrets in it as well, which obviously we can't tell you, and abandonment and coming together in the end.
Yeah, I noticed you actually had you highlighted certain challenges that people do face today, and one of them was dementia. How did you get all that information? How did you...
Oh, you mean the research process? Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Went on to reputable UK websites, went onto the charity, a couple of books and stuff like that. And there were some recurring themes. So I just thought we would use the most poignant ones and put those in. But I didn't want it to be too dictatorial. No, not dictatorial. I didn't want it to be in a way that people find textbook kind of a way, which bores you. Yeah, so I thought we have to weave it in the conversation, weave it in the story to make you read about dementia with a bit of...
I think you've done really well doing that, because it also brings it to life in someone's mind, because a lot of the time you hear of dementia or heard of somebody with it, but you don't realize the issues that surround it. And I think that's really good how you brought it out.
How it plays out, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, in families, in even the person who's experiencing it. Yeah, that's right. And obviously there are some flashbacks as well. Do you think we've had too many of those?
I think you did really well in doing that, because you I think what you've done is start with the present, but then eventually, bit by bit, you're starting to reveal how we got to the present. And I think that is like, when by the time you start asking questions, but how did we achieve this? How did we get here? Then you have a flashback.
Right.
And it takes you back.
A bit of context, isn't it?
A while back to bring you back to the present. And you're like, oh, right.
Okay. So that's how we arrived here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. There's one thing though, which I'm thinking, as a man, how did you find Matthew's childhood dilemma playing out in adulthood?
I think it's a very common theme that happens with a lot of men, and not just men, even women sometimes have issues like that. But men tend to express themselves differently. They tend not to want to express themselves because it's not the man thing to do.
I know. I'm okay. It's cool. It's nothing to do with that.
As the young people would say, it's calm.
It's calm.
It's not that deep. But it is an issue. If it affects you, it is an issue.
Yes, absolutely.
And so he had to learn how to deal with it.
That's right. And there's a very, very important person who had to help him to deal with that. Right. And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the process. I absolutely enjoyed it. Many of you have been following me on other interviews that I've done or on Facebook. Instagram or even on Twitter or YouTube. Oh, right. Yeah, you'd see that this is not my first book, but it's my first that I've published. And there's something about Orchids and Roses that literally tug at me that just made me think, oh my gosh, I would love for somebody to just sit down, probably on a yacht somewhere and enjoy themselves, just relax, reading, learning something, but at the same time having fun. And edutain comes to mind. But at the same time, having fun. So the process itself at times was a little bit grueling, especially when you want to get the flashbacks in the right place at the right time, not to bore the person. For example, if I'm bored, then you're going to be bored, isn't it? Yeah. And when you do the research and you want to put the poignant bits in, and there's so much, so you're thinking, oh, but how do I decipher which goes where and when and that sort of thing? So yeah, there were some challenges, but it was fun. It was absolutely fun, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it too. So friendship, a bit of learning about a few subject matters that are everyday occurrences within our relationships, within our friendships, within our lives, but we overcome, because that's what we do, right?
Yes, that's it.
That's what we do.